book lovers, it is G-Swizz here, and I am here today with my January 2019 TBR. Is here. It does not compute. So I'm filming this in the first week of January, and I've already read 6 books this year. I'm a maniac. Yeah, pretty much that's what sums me up. So I haven't been filming all week. Yeah, so my productivity hasn't been the best. And also I haven't been editing all week. And it's funny because like I've read 6 books. And I also binge watched Marvel's Runaways. Well, I technically started that before the new year and then I finished that after the new year. But yeah, Marvel's Runaways, man, season 2. Oh boy, I'm so shook and I want more. I'm craving more. So I went for like a bit of a slump, but then I'm back. So I haven't been able to really focus on my channel this month, but I've been commuting a lot to work, which means I've had a lot of reading time during that commute time. That's why I've read 6 books so far this year. And I had a pretty large TBR, only a last minute large TBR. Like my TBR wasn't really that great before, but no, I have a pretty large TBR this month because I only just realized that there are things to catch up on. There's a reread TBR for this month as well as a read TBR. I mean, like, obviously I'm reading them all, but there's a portion of this TBR that I need to reread. So technically now I'm gonna start off with the books that I am planning to read this month that I haven't read before, and then I'll continue on with books that I will potentially reread this month. No promises though, but I'll potentially reread them. The first lot of books that I am planning to get to this month, I have hair in my face, will be the rest of the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. I don't know whether I'm going to read extras this month. I might just read extras, but I am currently in the middle of pretties and I am planning to read specials. So technically the goal in the month for January is to get my first series done for the year, and this is a spin-off. Even though like it came in the box set, it's a futuristic spin-off. So yeah, I might read the series in its entirety, I might not, who knows. But all of the audiobooks are on script, so that's how I've been flying through this series so far. I'm excited to continue on through script and it's gonna be great. And even if I wasn't listening to these books on audiobook, like these books are like just easy reads anyway. And they're floppy paperbacks, I love them so much. Excited to get on to the rest of the series and see how the series continues and how it ends really. Because back in the day, like dystopian book series endings weren't ever really the greatest. Like they would always end in some sort of tragedy. So I'm actually curious to see whether this one does or not. Nobody talks about the ending of this series. So yeah, curious to see how this one is going to end. So the next book that I'm planning to read in the month of January is a book in a chunky series, and I've decided to commit to this chunky series this year, and I want to read all the books that are out currently, so it would be easier to just get through all the books before the final book comes out next year. Second final book will be coming out this year, so that's why I want to like really catch up on the series. And it's a pretty long series, it's a pretty chunky series too, so every book is thick with 2 C's, as well as the fact that this is a 9-book series. And I should probably get on to book 3. And the book 3 that I am referring to is Abaddon's Gate by James S.A. Corey. This is the 3rd book in the Expanse series, and I'm really loving this series so far. My friend, who does not read anything, loves the Expanse TV show, and he started reading Leviathan Wakes. And he's loving it so far. And I'm so happy for him because he doesn't usually love reading, but he's getting into reading thanks to James S.A. Corey because their writing style is so good, it's so immersive, it's so amazing, and anybody who loves sci-fi will love James S.A. Corey. I'm really excited to get into this because I'm a big fan of James S.A. Corey so far, and I really wanted to start the TV series this month, but I don't know how they correspond with the book. So I'm curious to know how far the TV show and the book canon kind of like corresponds with each other, because I don't want to spoil myself, for the books, because then I won't read the books. And I want to read the books because it's a very good experience, but I don't want to have to feel lazy after a while and rely on the TV shows. So that's why I want to make sure that I am periodically watching and reading both series, if that makes sense. But I definitely want to get to book 3 at some point of this month. If not, it's going to happen in February. It just has to happen some point at the beginning of this year so that I can set myself up for the rest of the year and continue on with the books the rest of the year. Fingers crossed that happens. So the next book I'm planning to read in the month of January is our Biblio Squad book pick of the month for, what month was it? I don't even remember. But it's going to be our next Biblio Squad book pick of the month. We've taken a bit of a break, a holiday break, because I have no time to do a live show, and I don't think anybody else has had a time to do a live show, and it's a good time to take a break because of Christmas break and because everything has just been so demanding, it's been so busy, so we just haven't had a time to sit down and discuss a book. Eventually we'll get back. And the book I'm talking about is Archenemies by Marissa Meyer. I cannot believe I haven't read this book yet. And everyone keeps on saying that it is better than Renegades, and I loved Renegades. Renegades was one of my absolute favorite books of 2017. And in 2018, I did not read its sequel. I cannot believe that. But also, I can believe that because I did go through massive burnout, and I don't think that reading this during my time of burnout would have been a good idea because it would have affected my reading experience pretty poorly. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to save this book for a time that I was able to enjoy it, and so hopefully this month I will have a time where I am able to enjoy Archenemies by Marissa Meyer. And the final book that is not a reread that I am planning to get to in the month of January, or at least like as this TBR. I mean, I could read more, who knows. But yeah, this is just like what I've set so far. A book that a lot of people have wanted me to read for a while. A book that I've wanted to read for a while, and I've just been putting it off, and I've decided this is gonna be the month. I'm gonna start Saga by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. It does have to happen. I purchased volume 8 yesterday. I've been slowly purchasing the volumes, and the reason why I purchased volume 8 is because I had a 20% off voucher, and volume 8 has been like out of stock online for a very long time. I decided to snatch that up while I could. So I own 8 of the 9 volumes that are currently out in the series so far, and I haven't read a single one of them. So that's gonna change. It definitely has to change. So I'm gonna read Saga. I better read Saga, and if I don't, you have full permission to come for me. Alright, so potential rereads of this month. Let's start with the Grisha Trilogy by Leigh Bardugo. This is a potential reread. I don't think that I will actually be able to get to it because I only just realized that there's a chunk of other books that I need to reread this month, but I wanted to reread this before King of Scars. I don't know why, like I had like the sudden craving to. But I personally don't know whether I'm gonna like it and enjoy it the second time round because I just thought it was okay the first time, or I'm just not gonna like it. I'm gonna hate it even more. So I don't know, but I know that Mal tracks. Freaking hate Mal. So I don't want to experience this series because of Mal again. I really don't, but I want to reread it for the Darkling and Nikolai because that is enough reason to read it. I mean, there were good characters, but so much potential, man. The next book, I feel like I really do want to reread this month. If not, it will happen probably in February. No, I've got to reread it this month. I just realized the reason why I'm rereading this is not because of the companion that is going to be coming out. The reason why I'm rereading this is because of the movie that will be coming out in Australia that I haven't seen yet because it hasn't come out in Australian theaters yet, but it will be this month, and I'm so excited for it. And that, my friends, is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I am going to reread this book this month, and I am so excited, but at the same time, I am gonna cry a lot because this book hit me hard the first time I read it, and it was amazing. It's honestly one of my favorite books of all time. The Hate You Give is so good, and it means so much to me personally because I can relate to Star's struggle in a way. Not 100%. I can definitely not to the fact that I am an African American who is living in the United States of America, but there are other aspects of Star Carter that I can connect to and connect with. So that's another reason I want to reread this book. I want to connect with our protagonist again. I am just really excited for this movie. What Angie Thomas has put into this book and has put into her book. The message that she sent out with this book is just so important, and it needs to be shared, honestly. And so that's why this book means so much to me, and that's why I'm hoping that this book and this movie will mean so much more to others. I've seen the effect that it has had in America so far, and so I'm really excited for it to come out in Australia. I'm excited to reread this book, but at the same time, I have to prepare to cry so much. And the final books that I want to reread, it's very funny, it's very bittersweet because I like 3 of these books. I hate the last one that's come out so far, and I just realized I haven't read the recent novella collection, so I need to get onto that. So it's this series right here, guys. It's the Majoran Chronicles by Lynette Noni. So in February, Vardasia, which is the final book in the series, is coming out. And I only just realized just before I hit record, I need to reread the series. And for some of you guys who don't know, I'm actually currently rereading Akarnae. In fact, I'm actually currently listening to it on audiobook. The audiobooks are slowly coming out for the series, and the audiobook is done very well. I'm very pleasantly surprised with how amazing the Akarnae audiobook is so far. So it's like rekindling my love for the world of Medora after that love was kind of like smashed. After how much I wasn't really a big fan of Graevale. Even though I did really love the world building in Graevale, we could have had it all, man. We could have had it all. But that being said, my intention is to reread as much as I possibly can read of this series this month, and possibly get to We 3 Heroes as well. I want to make that happen. And yeah, I'm hoping that I love this series more than I did the first time I read it. Even though I loved it, before Graevale. I need this rekindling of love if I want to get through Vardasia. I guess that's gonna be it for this video today, book lovers. If you want to purchase any of the books that I mentioned in this video today, all the Book Depository purchase links will be down in the description, so you can check them out, you can purchase them, and you can help me out by doing so. And I also have social medias. I'm at G-Swizzelbooks on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm also at Goodreads. That's www.goodreads.com/G-Swizzel. I love you, book lovers, and I will see you later. Peace.